When it came to talking about art imitates life, I felt it requires a time to think over and actually prepare for such kind of presentations, which I normally don't do. Well, I do go with Oscar Wilde, where art imitates life. And as Dean has projected the work, actually it's contrary to what I was going to say. Because I was going to say that if it imitates life, it has to be a mute presentation. Because I'm going to show the actual art forms that do imitate life, and we evoke emotions to the observer as it has been defined, produced primarily for its beauty or emotional power. This was the picture that all must have seen a few years back about this Afghan girl who Steve McCurry had shot. And after 14 years, he found this girl. You see this, the piercing eyes, which gives you an impression about the past and the suffering that she has undergone. People observing these pictures and trying to study as to how much pain they must have gone. She was found in the Pakistan, where she was shifted in, and Steve McCurry shot this girl and found her actually after 14 years when she had grown. So whenever we consciously design and we see this Gujarat riots that happen, and this picture was again very famous. And why it imitates life, you see this person in one picture trying to beg for his life, and the other person was trying to actually hit him. But the second day when these pictures were published and these people were called for an interview, they said he apologized to the Ansari. And the greatest art ever is Mona Lisa. I saw this picture is clicked by me at the Louvre Museum, and I could see thousands of people coming to see and check this actually smiling picture of Mona Lisa by Vinci. And the other girl, the Dutch painter, the earrings and the eyes are so appealing to see, and actually life comes into this picture. So in painting form, we see the art actually thriving up and sets up emotions and evokes emotion into the observer's eyes. And no matter why these pictures and the paintings are becoming famous. This installation art by Andy Goldsworthy, he does it anywhere with anything that's around him, and you will see the life flowing into all such installations that he has done. And the book is quite famous, and he does it with things that are around, the twigs, the ice, the leaves, the dead leaves, the live leaves, and actually imitates life through his pictures. He is a British photographer and a sculptor, has done wonderful work and a wonderful installation. All these installation artists actually evoke emotions, and this is the modern interpretation of art that we see now. It's changing, where Ganesha's idol is carrying a Mac. I clicked it because I'm so close to this one gadget that he is using. And the art, this is from Goa, a flea market. You see this art where our heroes are coming up and the buildings of Calatrava. The World Trade Center, I hope the economy must have gone flying with this kind of flying bird with these structures. Not all architecture is art, but yes, few architects do create an art with architecture. This one building of World Trade Center, the other one is Lyon's railway station. It's a flying birds that he has depicted through the architecture, and they truly carry this sense, and lots of people go and visit and try and experience this through different angles and click snaps and get it to us. In true sense, architecture, as said by Zahedi, I don't think that architecture is only about shelter, is only about a very simple enclosure. It should be able to excite you, to calm you, to make you think. And her buildings have been doing that with three forms of architecture that we have seen. It's tribute to her. She's no more with us, but has daring to do something that we long to see and would be seen forever as timeless designs that she has created for all of us. She has been instrumental in getting these designs for the public spaces for all of us. And in very humble way, we try to induce the kind of atmosphere in our own office that you could see here, where our staff works throughout the day for 10 hours and they're not fatigued. So the kind of atmosphere that one is in, the designs that happen, the surrounding that you dwell in, and this client of ours for whom we did the residence actually got into this house, got merged into this whole atmosphere that we created for her. The specially crafted residence, which was in Pune, and I just love this, one of the works that we had done, and we could see this lady merges into these spaces from one to the other. And the most effective building, if I had to see, an architecture that I have seen, which influences the moment you go inside, the Jewish Museum in Berlin by Daniel Lapskin. You don't have to explain anything, and he had requested the organizers not to put any exhibits for at least 4 years into this building, or even forever for that matter. And the observers who had been there in those 4 years could actually say that it looks better when there was nothing inside. It gives you the feeling of sadness, of the elimination of Jewish from Europe in those days. And I have experienced this, and especially the last slide that I would want to show, where this Manisha Kadishman, who did this art in this museum, can we have a little more sound for this? Because this, when you walk onto these 10,000 faces in this museum, you get to listen to the sound of massacre happening. So it's so lively, and it gives you that kind of a feeling which is expected out of this. So, and the sheer sadness that comes out of this, all the sound that you see is a massacre. I could not walk. A very sensible person, it's difficult to walk on this and get the feeling of the massacre happening of the Jewish during in the Europe. So art does imitate life, and it makes it more effective to the end user who uses the art that is in and gives life to the end observer. Thank you.